Okay.
Move this back
Yeah.
so I can see.
Yeah, can you do it?
Oh, I guess I can.
Okay, so one thing is she's got it, the angle on it a little bit crooked. So you want to move your body, you want to compromise between the angle of your body and the angle of the tubing. Because you want to have a straight line between your rectum and the tubing. So it has to come, and she might have to put her hand under the towel and under your butt. So put your hand under the towel and then under your buttock and sort of sit on your wrist because you want to keep that straight. Okay, and then also you got a pretty big curve in the tube, and then that's just sort of floppy down there, and you want to get your posture proper on it. The other factor is, see, there it goes. So she's down too far, and if that flops over, you can actually pull the line right out, and then you're going to have fecal matter going on your floor. You don't want to do that. You also have to pay attention to the water flow, because if you don't, you're going to overflow your tank. And so your ears develop where you can pay attention to what's going on. So did you move back a little bit? Okay. So now she's got that lined up much better. It's more straight coming out. Now what you're going to do is your colon theoretically is filled with water, which would be to a 5-foot length because of the way that the counts stop the flow of water from just flowing around the speculum, and then you're putting it in your body. So how do you feel right now?
I feel good.
So you don't feel particularly crampy?
Not yet. I did on my side.
Okay, and then do you feel full of water?
I feel full of water.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay, now what you're going to do is the clock becomes your friend, because you want to put a series of counts into you, and you can go anywhere between 1 second and 10 seconds to fill your body, and you really don't want to go longer than 10 seconds, but you can do a series of 10 seconds right together, but you want to release just to give your body the chance to fully release. And what can happen is the colon will hold on to the water and the fecal matter, and it will slowly move down. And then when it's ready to come out, it frequently will come out into a gusher. And so if you're holding that, see, there's a little bit of a gusher going on right now. And so what she has is just discolored water, which means that the fecal matter is still in her body, but the water is releasing dirty. And that just means the water is more fluid than the fecal matter, and it comes out first. And so what we're accomplishing here is we're just removing the fecal matter that may be in her colon that normally wouldn't come out. And when you move that out, it frees up the small intestine, it frees up her liver and her lymphatic system, and that's why people's appearance improves from doing colonics, because you're literally draining from the face and the lymphatic system, and where your sweat glands, and it's all getting cleansed just by pulling out the fecal matter directly from the colon. So she's holding it right now, and you can hold it based on how you feel. So if you feel a lot of pressure, then you can just give yourself like a 1 second count or a 3 second count. And then if you're feeling nothing at all, you can give yourself a full 10-second count and then release. And when you squeeze it, you want to make sure you're fully squeezing the tubing. You don't want to have any water escaping, because you won't be able to build up pressure. So I'll just provide a little assistance here. It really doesn't want to go on there. Now she's got it a little bit crooked again, so I would say swing your hips a little bit to the right, because you've got this sort of at an angle like this. And you want it to be more straight like this, to go straight in. Okay? Did you do it?
I moved my hips.
Okay. And so what are you thinking right now? Just trying to build up some pressure?
Yeah, I want the poop to come out. That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, so you feel like there's some poop in there that needs to come out?
Yeah.
Alright, so the goal then is just to get the fecal matter out, and that's going to take you probably at minimum 30 minutes. And I recommend a full 5 tanks of water, and at minimum 35 to 40 minutes, because you can have a big release of fecal matter come out, and then 10 minutes later have a whole nother rush of it come out. So look, she's getting good at working with her feet. So this is just your basic colonic unit. If we just do a quick review, what we have are pillows for comfort, a towel so that you're not directly on the table, and you have your tubing, and then you have the height of the tank, a simple 5-gallon plastic tank with fitting there for your connection. And so now she's getting a few more of these chunky things coming out. And you're pretty much just relaxing. There's not a time pressure. If you are in a time pressure, you can just sort of feel your... Okay, so here we go. This was in here the whole time. She was aware of it, but it's still a lot of dirty water, so the fecal matter, the solid fecal matter is yet to come. And also you have good lighting. What I have is just somebody, you know...
Something's coming.
Oh. So the lighting that I have is just the light that I picked up at Target. Okay, so you can actually feel that.
Yeah.
And then the water is getting much darker, but still the solid is waiting to come out. So you can press, you can massage if you like. I think more effective is regulating using your hands there. Now she's getting the solid stuff coming out, and it wants to come out. So what is that? That's food that's passing through her digestive tract that is not fully eliminating, and now it is. So the goal will be that she's fully emptied. The goal will be that she's fully emptied the contents of her colon, and that brings great relief to her sense of well-being, her energy, and her body's ability to detox itself. So we're listening for the water again. And it's getting full. You want to have a mirror set up so that you're able to look around your body, so you don't have to sit up to look to see what's coming out. You can just look right into the mirror and see it. Yeah. So she's having quite a bit come out. Now a lot of people will ask, well, is that old, or you know, what's coming out? Mostly it's just food that you've eaten within the last few days. So she's squeezing it based on what's coming out, because it'll move down and then it will kind of quit coming out. So you have to play it. It's like playing the slots or something. You have to keep sort of teasing it out. And this is just the game that you play for 35, 40, 45 minutes. And you can go as long as an hour. You can go as long as 2 hours. I mean, generally you want it to be about 5 tanks of water or 40 40 to 45 to 50 minutes should be sufficient. But you can use this as just a glorified enema machine, and just, you know, you could just put this much water. It's different from an enema because there's a flow of going out, whereas with an enema it's only going in, and then you have to go into the bathroom to release. This way you just lay there and it's just coming out, going right into the plumbing, and therefore you can go much longer, much deeper, and more effectively than what an enema would do.
I feel like something's...
Yeah, you can see the way it's sort of creeping out, that there's probably going to be... I would say you'd want to give yourself... Oh, okay, there it goes. So this would be... Probably she'll have like a foot or two that will just suddenly just spit itself out.
Yeah, I was thinking.
It sort of breaks off. I describe it as like that there's a length of broomstick up there, and you're breaking it off little pieces at a time. So she's being very conservative on the amount of water that she puts in. But give yourself like, see if you can do 10 seconds, and then we'll see what comes out. Your clock becomes your friend. Okay, so she really felt it. So sometimes you can just go extra on the water, and it'll help to shake it loose. Okay, she said she feels like she has to pee. Sometimes
I also feel like I have to have a release major.
Okay, so what that can be when you feel like you have to pee.
There it goes.
Okay, there it goes. So you see how it just flies out. Now the feeling of needing to go pee can be just the big blurge of poop that's passing down that can actually press on your bladder. What? Okay, so you feel better?
Came out, yeah.
You feel some sense of relief?
Major relief.
What kind of relief?
Major relief.
All right. Now this is a good thing here. These little tiny bubbles that will form on the top of the tubing, that's an indicator of some yeast. Sort of a bubbly, you know, like champagne effect. And a lot of people be like, oh, I have yeast. Everybody has yeast. That's not anything new. But if you see like foam, like beer foam in there, you definitely want to look into herbal ways to help your body to have less fungus. You read some books on it. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to kind of quit showing the poop because it just keeps coming. And then I need to save a little footage for cleanup.
Yeah.
Okay, so she felt the urge to pee again, and now a bunch more is coming out. What you want to kind of do is time it so that the tank is going to be empty when you quit. And also when you stop, you want to make sure that this water has turned clear. The reason for that is you want the tubing to end up clean when you quit. So at this point, you could pull it out if you like, except you can't pull it out. First you have to clamp it off.
I feel like something's going to come out.
Okay, so something's going to come out. So she's going to stay up.
Ooh.
Okay, here it goes. So you can feel when it's going to come out. Yeah. So, I mean, if she hadn't done this colonic, just all this would just be in her body, sort of plugging her up. And then over time, there is a cumulative effect to that. Okay, so what we need to do before we stop, I'm going to do this for her, but you'll have to reach around and clamp off the water. And then quickly pull this scope out. Yep, pull it straight out. There you go. And then lift it up so that you flush the, yep. And then you want to probably even lift it higher. And then as you get off the table, you can lay that back down. And then, where's she going? To the bathroom. And then we can do cleanup later. So she's just left the unit, and there's no water flowing anywhere. We've got this clamped off, so nothing's going to happen. She can just have fun in the bathroom. Okay, so what happened now?
Okay, so I just got off the table. I had my release in the bathroom. And after completing that colonic, I feel a lot of relief. I feel lighter, cleaner, and I feel joyful. I feel a lot cleaner.
Excellent. Okay, and then as far as the cleanup, we just have to clean with soap and water the speculum and then put it in the autoclave. We have to clean the tubing, disconnect it, and then pretty simple. And then drain the water down so that the water doesn't remain in the tubing. And so you have to have a little cleanup station, which is what this is. And then you soak the tubing in the peroxide, and this is the brand that I'm aware of, Sally's Beauty Salon Care Volume 20. And a toothbrush, just regular old dish soap is your is what you clean with. And that's it. Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.